Alright, out here getting ready for some new cattle. I'm putting the gate up here. That old one was all bent and I didn't like it. That's the first thing you see if anyone comes to look at the cattle, so I didn't like that, so I had this other one and I went out back and put it up here. Getting it put up here. About right. Kind of like it there. It's a little high, but or this pin's a little low, but that's all right. Had to get a new impact. The one I had, the light was staying on all the time. It wouldn't shut off, and kept running the battery down, and that's not good for those lithium-ion batteries. You can really ruin something in a hurry, like they might explode. So went in, and luckily they got a 5-year warranty on this tool, and I'd only had it for 2 years. I think the batteries are only a year warranty, but the tool's 5 years. So I walked in and they gave me a new tool, and away we went. I always just put this thing on here to lock it in. The other gate I had is spaced a little better than this one, but that said it won't jump up. But I'll set that one up just a little bit. The other gate I had was also about an inch or two shorter because I could run that thing straight out. But ain't the case of this one. There we go. It's more like it. Make sure that hinge over there ain't carrying all the weight. Yeah, it still goes down a little bit. I think I'm going to get 6 cows this time. Hopefully I can get a decent price on them. I doubt I'll get them all today because the sale barn where I go to, I don't have a lot of cattle, so I mean, they might have a dozen cattle the whole sale, and only about 2 or 3 of them are the size I'm needing, and so, or wanting anyway. So probably go down there and buy what they got, and I might have to make several trips, but it's about an hour closer drive than any other sale barn. So here we go. Get it locked in there, and then I got a chain I'll throw around it. But well, I'll come back to you once I get some cattle. Alright, well, got back in the sale barn, got me a beef. I didn't realize I hadn't been to the sale barn about 3 years because I just bought them from local people. I didn't realize it, but normally they sell a bunch of goats before they sell the cattle, and starting in January, every third Monday of the month is a feeder calf sale. So lo and behold, they sold all the feeder calves first. I got there just in time to get the last lot or second to last lot they had of feeder calves, and got this little guy. Was a bull calf, now he's a steer. Weighed right at 500 pounds. Paid $1.24 for him, which I didn't think was too bad. They had one other lot that had 4 calves in it that sold after him, but they had one, I don't know what the breed of it was, but I didn't like the looks of it too much, so I passed them up. They're about the same price. They were about $520, and 500 is really my upper range. I'd like to be more down around 400 to 450, but take what I can get. So I'll go back next Monday and see if I can get some more bought. I was figuring I'd have to make at least 2 trips to this sale barn because they don't run a lot of cattle through it. It's mainly just goats and and stuff like that. Goats and hay really is what they sell. So, but they always have a couple dozen cattle, whether it's calves or fat cattle or whatever. So, but I was happy to get him. Seems like a decent little calf. But I think be alright for. Yeah, he's a baller. He hadn't really stopped since we got home. But get another couple calves in here with him, he'll probably be alright. I kind of like get them in a range from 400 to 500 because then when they get fat, I got several sizes because some people, I sell it for freezer beef, and some people like a fat, or like a big quarter or a small half or a big half, or however. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a range. The last one's our live weight was 1,100 pounds, which I was maybe hoping for a little bigger, but that was pretty good weight. That's about right. I had one guy call me. I talked to him Saturday. I got to church with him, sold him some beef, and then he called me again today and told him, or he got a quarter this past year, his first time buying, and this next year he wants to get a half. He called me up and he's really into food and cooking and whatnot, and he knows a good steak and stuff like that, and called me up and he said, I don't want to brag or anything. He said it was one of the most tender steaks he'd ever had, so I was real happy to hear that. And that's what I was, and that's kind of what I go for. Is I really want some good quality, lean ground beef. I want the cuts just how people want them, and where they really custom order their steaks. And I really like to have a tender steak. So I make sure and give them enough feed, and don't let them get to running or anything. And they, I really like to make a tender steak for people. So that was kind of encouraging to hear that from him. 'Cause he knows food and stuff like that, whatnot. But I think I'll about do it here. I gotta go get a couple things rounded up here and probably move some hay in tomorrow. I'm gonna wait and start them on corn until I get all of them, so I can start them all at once. But probably go ahead and get some of that ground up this week anyways. So I think that'll about do it here. Thanks for watching. Well, back out here at calf, got calf problems. Today's Wednesday morning. I'm going to upload the first part of this video there yesterday evening. But I got home and I had a little problem. I noticed the calf was outside the pen, but he was stuck outside the pen. I don't know how long he'd been there. I'd been out in the field. We did a little field work yesterday. And his leg was caught right here and was hanging, and he was laying there. And man, he was hanging there, and I don't know how long he'd been hanging. I felt bad for him, and so I called Dad, and he come over real quick and took the hinge loose and got his foot out of the gate. And the only thing I can figure is he got rambunctious or something and went over the gate, because the trough was also already kind of over about a 45-degree angle there, and I don't know what happened, and the gate's bent a little bit like this up here at the top, and I can't figure out what happened. He must have gone over that gate. I didn't even think a calf could get over a gate that tall, but apparently he did. That if he went that way, I could understand a little bit. But because, you know, he had the water tank there, but you know, he was on this side of the pole, and I don't know. But anyway, I'm thankful it didn't kill him. It messed up his ankle pretty good. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. It either dislocated it or he broke it or something. It's swollen and he's hobbling around on it. A lot better than he was yesterday, man. I felt sick for him yesterday, but it seems to be getting better and whatnot. Yeah, see there, he's got a little bit of, it's still irritating him a little bit. I called the vet to see if there's anything they could do about it, but said there really wasn't much they could do with it, except give him some pain medicine. But that's another thing, what they were going to suggest is just give it to him in his feed. But the problem is, sale barn there, the guy come up and talked to me after I bought it, and he said he just pulled him off the cow this morning, which I thought was a little big for the, to wean him off, but so he's not really used to grain or anything, and he'd been eating some hay, and I hadn't even seen him drink any water until about 20 minutes ago. I was very thankful for that. I've been praying that, man, he'd drink some water, because he can't go that long without water, and luckily he drank about 2 gallons out of that bucket, so I was very happy for that. He just nibbled just a little bit on the sweet feed there I had for him, and now I got another dish that's in the hay there. I tried giving him some. I went to the farm store this morning and got a bottle and some milk supplement I was going to try to give him, but he didn't want anything to do with that. So I just took the milk and put it in a dish there, and he drank most of it up, so I'm glad for that. Man, I don't know, I called the locker because I was thinking about maybe just taking him in and having him butchered, because I hated to see him suffer, but I didn't want to lose any money on him and just have him put down. So they said, well, we could get him in Friday, and so I got to keep him for a couple days anyways to do that. And he's doing a little better this morning than he was yesterday, so. And then I was going to take him in Friday anyways, but then I got to thinking the antibiotics they gave him at the sale barn have a 21-day period where you can't butcher them if you hope to eat the meat between when you give them to them and when you butcher them. So I'm going to have to keep them for a couple weeks anyways, and I think hopefully give it a day or two, the swelling will go down, and we'll see, but I don't know. Just very thankful, and he started drinking water there because I was kind of worried about it, but thankful for that. I've been praying that he would, but finally did. So yeah, you've had a rough go of it the past couple days. Sure, Larson Valley and cow camp and farming life, you guys all be set up to deal with something like this a little better and know what to do, but and give me any pointers if you think something I ought to try. You know, here to help him get a little better, where he can move around better. Came out and checked on him a couple times last night, and he's just laying there, and he can get up, he can stand up and lay down okay, better than I think he would, so thankful for that. But give him a week or so, we'll see how he's doing. I'm going to get more calves Monday, so we'll just have to see. I might have to try to make a little fenced in area here and see if I can get him, kind of keep him by himself until he can move around a little better, but we'll see. So there's calf problems and what's happening with them around here. So anyway, thanks for watching.